Your habits are running your life, silently, relentlessly, and without permission. Every missed opportunity, every wasted hour, every regret starts with one small, repeated choice, a bad habit. And until you break it, nothing changes. This audiobook is your blueprint to identify the habits that are stealing your future, destroy them, and replace them with unstoppable patterns that build wealth, health, and success. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop waiting for motivation. Your life changes when you break the habits that are holding you prisoner. Let's start now. Chapter 1. Expose your hidden habits. Most people think their life is controlled by external forces. Bosses, deadlines, relationships, circumstances. It's a convenient lie. The truth is harsher. You are controlled by habits you don't see, by routines you ignore, by patterns that drain your energy and sabotage your potential. Sleep patterns, procrastination, negative self-talk, digital addiction. These are invisible chains. They steal hours, focus, and momentum without you realizing it. You have a choice. You can stay asleep to these habits, or you can expose them. That's the key. Let's be honest. Most people are trapped. Professionals scroll through social media during work hours, wasting energy and focus. Entrepreneurs chase every shiny object, sabotaging income and growth. Students drift through assignments, losing focus and failing to leverage their potential. All of it comes from unseen habits. All of it comes from routines that are on autopilot. All of it comes from what you don't name. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Repeat it. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Step 1. Identify the hidden drains. Track your energy. Track your time. Track your attention. Ask yourself, am I sleeping enough? Or am I running on empty? Am I procrastinating on what matters most? Am I feeding negative self-talk that undermines confidence? Am I addicted to notifications, news, or mindless scrolling? Notice it. Name it. Own it. Awareness is the first step. You cannot control what you do not see. Step 2. Expose the triggers behind these habits. Why do you scroll mindlessly at night? Why do you procrastinate on important tasks? Why do negative thoughts repeat in your head? Triggers are not the enemy. They are signals. They tell you where you're still untrained. If it triggers you, it teaches you. If it controls you, you haven't learned yet. Step 3. Interrupt the destructive loop. For procrastination, break tasks into microactions. For digital addiction, enforce strict boundaries. For negative self-talk, replace thoughts with evidence-based affirmations. For sleep disruption, create a ritual that signals rest. You have a choice. You don't need their permission to break the loop. You don't need validation to enforce boundaries. You don't need approval to reclaim your focus and energy. That's the key. Step 4. Replace energy drains with energy builders. Morning routines. Exercise. Journaling. Reading. Focused work sessions. These are habits that amplify energy, focus, and momentum. Professionals who meditate or plan their day consistently outperform those who react to every distraction. Entrepreneurs who track their finances and time see compound growth. Students who implement study routines finish assignments early, stress less, and achieve better results. You have a choice. You can remain trapped in hidden habits, or you can intentionally feed productive routines. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Step 5. Monitor relentlessly. Track sleep. Track work. Track habits. Track digital usage. Small patterns compound over time. Small habits determine outcomes. Daily awareness turns hidden drains into visible leverage. Step 6. Confront excuses. Excuses are invisible habit enforcers. I'll do it later. I don't have time. I'm too tired. These phrases maintain control over you. Stop saying them. Name them. Break them. You have a choice. You don't need permission to refuse excuses. You don't need approval to enforce accountability. You don't need validation to demand discipline. That's the key. Step 7. Reinforce with repetition. Track. Expose. Interrupt. Replace. Monitor. Confront. Daily discipline rewires habits. Daily awareness amplifies control. Daily action transforms potential into results. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Repeat it again. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Real-world example. A professional sits at her desk, exhausted by scrolling through emails, notifications, and social media. She has deadlines, but every distraction drains her energy. Old version. She reacts. She rages. She procrastinates. She feels overwhelmed. New version. She audits habits. She identifies the drains. She schedules focused work sessions. She silences distractions. She builds energy. She masters focus. She delivers results. She has a choice. You have a choice. You don't need their permission to take control of your habits. You don't need approval to enforce boundaries. You don't need validation to reclaim your energy. That's the key. Hidden habits are silent thieves. They steal hours, focus, and potential. They disguise themselves as convenience, distraction, or routine. Left unchecked, they determine outcomes more than talent or effort ever could. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. You have a choice. You can remain trapped in the invisible chains, or you can expose them. When you expose your hidden habits, you reclaim energy. When you name them, you reclaim control. When you interrupt them, you reclaim momentum. You have a choice. Feed destructive patterns, and you lose. Starve them, and you win. That's the key. This is the foundation of mastery. Control your habits. Control your energy. Control your potential. Expose what is hidden. Name it. Confront it. Replace it. Repeat it. The person who once reacted unconsciously now decides intentionally. The professional, the entrepreneur, the student, all thrive when hidden drains are exposed. The world loses its control over them. Chaos loses its control. Distraction loses its power. You have a choice. You don't need permission to take responsibility. You don't need approval to engineer your habits. You don't need validation to reclaim your energy and potential. It's not about flaw. It's about discipline. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. You have a choice. Expose the hidden habits. Take control. Decide. Now that you've reclaimed energy and exposed what was controlling you, it's time to apply that power relentlessly. Chapter 2. Break the habit loop. Most habits are invisible. Most habits are automatic. Most habits run your life while you think you're in control. It starts with a cue, a signal, a trigger, something small that barely registers, a yawn of boredom, a notification buzzing, a stressful thought in your head. That cue sparks a routine. You reach for a snack. You scroll mindlessly through social media. You check your phone first thing in the morning. Finally comes the reward. A hit of pleasure. A feeling of relief. A small dose of comfort. Cue. Routine. Reward. It's a loop. And it runs without your permission. You have a choice. You can remain trapped in the loop. Or you can break it. That's the key. Let's unpack this. Step 1. Recognize the cue. Signals are everywhere. Bored? Cue. Anxious? Cue. Fatigued? Cue. Notice it. Name it. Identify the moments where automatic action takes over. When you don't notice the cue, you don't notice the chain reaction. Step 2. Observe the routine. The routine is the behavior you perform automatically. Snacking. Scrolling. Procrastinating. Overreacting. Notice it without judgment. Awareness is power. You cannot break what you do not see. Step 3. Identify the reward. Why do you do it? Pleasure, relief, avoidance, comfort. Name it. Understand it. This is what keeps the loop alive. The brain seeks reward. The brain craves comfort. The brain is lazy by design. You have a choice. You can remain unconscious. Or you can decide. You don't need their permission. You don't need validation. You don't need anyone to approve your change. That's the key. Step 4. Interrupt the loop. Cue appears. Routine fires. Reward arrives. Stop it. Pause before acting. Breathe. Step aside. Replace the routine with a deliberate, constructive behavior. Boredom triggers snacking? Drink water. Go for a walk. Write 3 sentences. Stress triggers scrolling? Step outside. Meditate. Journal. Do push-ups. Morning phone check? Delay it. Start with a stretch or a glass of water. Break the loop. Break the chain. Break the habit. Repeat it. Break the loop. Break the chain. Break the habit. Step 5. Replace with a new loop. Cue still exists. Reward is still desired. The routine is the variable you can control. Boredom cue? Routine. 10 minutes of reading. Reward. Mental refresh. Stress cue? Routine. Breathing exercise. Reward. Calm and clarity. Morning cue? Routine. Journaling first. Reward. Momentum and focus. Replace destructive routines with constructive ones. Feed growth. Starve stagnation. You have a choice. That's the key. Real-world example. A professional scrolls endlessly when stressed at work. Old loop. Stress, social media, temporary relief. Guilt, stress again. New loop. Stress, 5 deep breaths, write next 3 tasks, stretch, move on. Same cue. New routine. Same reward. Relief and control. No guilt. No regret. Energy preserved. Productivity amplified. You cannot break the habit by willpower alone. You cannot wish it away. You cannot lecture yourself out of it. You must identify the loop. Cue. Routine. Reward. Interrupt. Replace. Reinforce. That's the key. Step 6. Reinforce new habits. Repetition matters. Every time you repeat a constructive routine, it strengthens the neural pathway. Every time you skip a destructive routine, it weakens the old loop. Consistency is the weapon. Cue appears. You respond intentionally. Cue appears. You respond intentionally. Cue appears. You respond intentionally. The brain learns. The habit shifts. Control is built. Power is gained. You have a choice. You don't need permission to practice. You don't need approval to enforce change. You don't need validation to break the chains. That's the key. Step 7. Watch for hidden cues. Not all triggers are obvious. A glance at your phone. A smell. A sound. A thought. These silent cues can sabotage progress. Name them. Expose them. Neutralize them. Step 8. Use environment as leverage. Remove triggers. Silence notifications. Place water, not snacks, on your desk. Arrange your environment to encourage the routines you want. Your surroundings either feed old loops or reinforce new ones. Upgrade the environment. Upgrade the habits. You have a choice. That's the key. Step 9. Track progress. Journal your cues, routines, and rewards. See patterns. Adjust intentionally. Awareness plus action equals transformation. What you feed grows. What you starve dies. Cue. Routine. Reward. Repeat. Interrupt. Replace. Reinforce. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Repeat it again. You cannot fix what you do not see. You cannot escape what you do not name. Step 10. Embrace the discomfort. Breaking loops is not easy. Change is uncomfortable. Discomfort signals growth. Lean into it. Practice discipline. Respond intentionally. Every time you resist the old loop, you grow stronger. Every time you replace a routine, you reinforce control. Every time you interrupt the habit, you reclaim power. You have a choice. Feed the old and remain enslaved. Feed the new and become unstoppable. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. That's the key. Habits run the unconscious mind. You can either let them run you, or you can expose the loop, break the chain, and rewrite your life. Cue. Routine. Reward. Break the loop. Break the chain. Break the habit. You have a choice. Choose to decide. Choose to interrupt. Choose to replace. Choose discipline. When you cannot be provoked by old habits, you cannot be controlled by old patterns. When you consciously interrupt automatic behaviors, you reclaim freedom. When you take charge of routines, your life runs on purpose, not autopilot. Cue. Routine. Reward. Break the loop. Break the chain. Break the habit. You have a choice. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You decide. That's the key. Next, we will build on this power. You've broken the loops that enslave you. Now, let's talk about how to make discipline consistent, unstoppable, daily, relentless. Chapter 3. Replace. Don't just remove. Most people think breaking a habit is simple. Just stop. Just quit. Remove the trigger. Remove the behavior. Remove the problem. It doesn't work. Removal alone fails. Trying to stop a habit without a replacement creates a vacuum. And that vacuum will be filled by something worse. You have a choice. You can leave the void empty. Or you can fill it with power. That's the key. Let's be blunt. When you just remove, you resist. You fight. You punish yourself. You try to willpower your way through. And willpower alone is weak. It fades. It tires. It fails. The mind hates emptiness. You stop scrolling at night, and suddenly your brain screams for distraction. You quit sugar, and your body searches for another quick hit. You stop complaining, and old tension surfaces in different ways. You cannot just resist. You cannot just quit. You must replace. You must redirect. Don't just quit. Replace. Don't just resist. Redirect. Repeat it. Don't just quit. Replace. Don't just resist. Redirect. Step 1. Identify what you want to replace. Late night scrolling? Sugar cravings? Complaining? Negative self-talk? Name it. Expose it. You cannot change what you do not see. Step 2. Decide what will fill the vacuum. Replacement must satisfy the underlying need. Bored? Replace scrolling with reading, journaling, or learning. Real-world example. A 6 a.m. runner doesn't wake up motivated every day. Some mornings, it's cold. Some mornings, they're tired. Motivation is absent. Discipline kicks in. Shoes on. Outside. Run completed. Over months, weeks, years, the habit becomes unstoppable. Action creates motivation. Desire follows. Momentum builds. Step 6. Track progress, but don't obsess. Consistency requires feedback. Mark your workouts. Log your writing sessions. Track your practice. Small wins accumulate. Momentum grows. You see results. Discipline is reinforced. But don't let perfectionism sabotage you. Consistency is about showing up, not being flawless. Missing one day does not destroy progress. Skipping occasionally does not cancel your efforts. What matters is the long-term pattern. You have a choice. You can obsess over perfection, or you can commit to progress. That's the key. Step 7. Pair action with identity. I am someone who shows up no matter what. I am someone who exercises daily, even when I don't feel like it. I am someone who writes, practices, and learns consistently. Identity drives consistency. Behaviors reinforce identity. Action solidifies the person you are becoming. Step 8. Remove reliance on emotion. Do not wait to feel ready. Do not wait for confidence. Do not wait for excitement. Action comes first. Consistency comes first. Results and motivation follow. You have a choice. You don't need emotion to act. You don't need desire to succeed. That's the key. Step 9. Handle setbacks like a disciplined warrior. You will miss a session. You will falter. You will fail. That's normal. That's human. You have a choice. You can give up. Or you can return immediately. No excuses. No self-pity. Get back on track. Consistency is resilient, not rigid. Step 10. Understand the long-term payoff. Discipline compounds. Small actions performed consistently yield massive results. Your body, mind, and skills respond over time. Momentum grows. Confidence grows. Freedom grows. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is permanent. Action beats desire. Consistency beats bursts. You have a choice. You decide. You act. That's the key. Real-world example. An entrepreneur works on skill development daily. They don't feel motivated to study market trends. They don't feel inspired to write sales emails. They do it anyway. Day after day. Week after week. Months pass. Their business grows. Their skill increases. They didn't wait for desire. They created momentum. Consistency is the secret weapon of the elite. Athletes, artists, leaders, and successful people don't wait for motivation. They act daily. They persist through discomfort. They focus on repetition over perfection. Discipline beats desire every single time. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You have a choice. You can wait for motivation. Or you can act anyway. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need validation. You don't need inspiration to start. Anchor your actions. Show up daily. Build identity through repetition. Accept discomfort. Return from setbacks. Discipline beats desire every single time. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You have a choice. You decide. You act. That's the key. You mastered awareness. You mastered loops. You mastered replacement. Now, you must master consistency. Consistency transforms potential into results. Discipline turns decisions into identity. Action transforms desire into mastery. You have a choice. You will act daily. You will persist. You will grow. You don't need permission. You don't need motivation. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You have the power. That's the key. Next, we will consolidate everything you've learned. You will learn how to combine awareness, discipline, replacement, and consistency into a system that makes you unstoppable. Chapter 5. Environmental Engineering. Your habits are only as strong as your space. Most people blame willpower. They blame weakness. They blame themselves for failing. Here's the truth. Habits are heavily influenced by your environment. Your surroundings shape your decisions before your mind even enters the room. Clutter, noise, toxic people, constant notifications. These are triggers. Triggers create automatic reactions. Automatic reactions form habits. You have a choice. You can ignore the influence. Or you can control the influence. That's the key. Let's get practical. Look at your workspace. Is it organized or messy? Mess triggers distraction. Clutter triggers stress. Stress triggers avoidance. Avoidance triggers procrastination. You cannot will your way out of a messy environment. You must engineer it. Change your environment. Change your habits. Change your life. Repeat it. Change your environment. Change your habits. Change your life. Step 1. Remove temptations. Identify what hijacks your attention. Smartphone notifications. Junk food on the counter. Endless tabs open on your browser. These are not harmless. They are habit fuel. They weaken discipline. Remove them. Make access difficult. Out of sight. Out of mind. You have a choice. Remove distractions. Protect your focus. That's the key. Step 2. Redesign your space. Your environment should encourage the behaviors you want. Want to read more? Keep books visible. Want to write daily? Keep your notebook or laptop ready. Want to eat healthy? Keep nutritious foods front and center. Physical cues reinforce habits. They reduce reliance on willpower. They make the right choice automatic. You have a choice. You can leave your space to chance. Or you can design it to serve you. That's the key. Step 3. Surround yourself with accountability. People shape behavior as much as objects do. Toxic people drain energy. They trigger old habits. They reinforce negativity. Supportive people elevate energy. They model discipline. They encourage action. You have a choice. Choose who is in your inner circle. You don't need permission to distance yourself from energy vampires. You don't need approval to seek out allies. That's the key. Step 4. Manage digital influence. Notifications are cues for distraction. Social media is designed to hijack your attention. Email pings trigger stress. Alerts create urgency where none exists. Control these cues. Turn off notifications. Set limits. Schedule times to check messages. The environment is programming your brain. You have a choice. Upgrade the programming. That's the key. Step 5. Ritualize your environment. Morning routines, evening prep, weekly organization. These are not trivial. They set the tone for habits. A clean desk in the morning encourages focus. A cleared kitchen before bed discourages snacking. A designated meditation spot triggers calm. You have a choice. Create rituals that reinforce your desired behaviors. That's the key. Step 6. Visualize your ideal environment. Picture the space that makes you unstoppable. What does it look like? What cues are present? What distractions are absent? Design your environment as if it were a personal trainer, mentor, and accountability partner combined. You have a choice. You don't need anyone to approve your setup. You don't need motivation to organize your space. That's the key. Step 7. Understand the subtle triggers. Noise, lighting, temperature, clutter, smells. These influence behavior more than most realize. Cold rooms reduce energy. Bright, harsh lighting increases stress. Step 8. Reinforce with repetition. Check your space daily. Ask, does it encourage what I want or what I don't want? Make adjustments. Habit fuel is constant. Your environment is constantly programming you. Change it daily, consciously. Repeat it. Change your environment. Change your habits. Change your life. Step 9. Make accountability tangible. Post visible reminders. Use habit trackers. Share goals with supportive peers. Public commitment amplifies adherence. You have a choice. You can go it alone and rely on willpower. Or you can leverage social and environmental design for success. That's the key. Step 10. Combine environmental engineering with self-discipline. Even the best environment won't fully compensate for laziness. But discipline is strengthened by a supportive space. Environmental engineering is not a replacement for effort. It multiplies it. You have a choice. Discipline without an engineered environment is weaker. Discipline with one is unstoppable. That's the key. Real-world examples. A student wants to study effectively. Old setup, messy desk, phone on table, notifications on, clutter everywhere. Result: distraction, procrastination, stress. New setup. Desk cleared, phone in another room, study materials ready, supportive roommate present. Cue appears, action follows, study completed. Environment supports habit. Momentum builds. An entrepreneur wants to focus on creative work. Old environment, noisy coffee shop, constant notifications, email open. New environment, quiet office, phone muted, digital blocks on distractions, inspiring objects nearby. Result: focused action, consistent output, less stress. Step 11. Internalize the lesson. Your environment is habit fuel. Control the fuel, control the outcome. Change your environment, change your habits, change your life. You have a choice. You can ignore it, or you can engineer it. That's the key. Step 12. Commit to constant iteration. Your environment evolves with your goals. Check in weekly. Adjust monthly. Refine continuously. A stagnant environment reinforces old habits. A dynamic, engineered environment strengthens new ones. You have a choice. Engineer the space. Engineer your habits. Engineer your life. That's the key. You mastered awareness. You mastered loops. You mastered replacement. You mastered consistency. Now, master the spaces where your life unfolds. Change your environment, change your habits. Change your habits, change your life. You have a choice. You can control what surrounds you. You can control what influences you. You don't need permission. You don't need anyone's approval. That's the key. Next, we will tie all of this together into unstoppable mastery in motion. Your habits, your environment, your discipline, all align to make you unstoppable. Chapter 6. The Power of Compounding. Small actions, massive results. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the perfect moment. Here's the truth. Massive results do not come from perfect moments. They come from small, consistent actions repeated over time. One avoided cigarette. One extra push-up. One focused hour. Alone, it seems insignificant. Stacked over months and years, it becomes unstoppable momentum. You have a choice. You can wait for luck, or you can act daily. That's the key. Think about the most successful people you know. Warren Buffett didn't get rich overnight. He invested small amounts consistently over decades. J.K. Rowling didn't publish a bestseller on her first try. She wrote every day, even when no one was reading. Michael Jordan didn't dominate in a single practice. He showed up, did one more jump shot, one more drill, one more day. You have a choice. Consistency beats brilliance when brilliance is inconsistent. That's the key. Step 1. Define tiny wins. You don't need to overhaul your life in a single day. Identify one small, repeatable action that aligns with your goal. Want fitness? Do 10 push-ups today. Want focus? Spend 1 uninterrupted hour on your craft. Want financial control? Save a small portion of income. These are the building blocks. Stack them. Repeat them. Watch momentum form. You have a choice. You don't need permission to start small. That's the key. Step 2. Track your progress. Consistency requires visibility. Use a journal, a calendar, an app. Check off the action each day. Small wins feel small in isolation. In aggregate, they feel massive. The visual record reinforces behavior. You have a choice. You can ignore progress and rely on memory. Or you can track daily and reinforce success. That's the key. Step 3. Embrace the compound effect. Every small action is a seed. Some seeds grow slowly. Some grow exponentially. A single push-up doesn't build a body overnight. A single dollar invested doesn't make you rich instantly. But the repeated push-ups, the repeated investment, the repeated focused hours, they accumulate. Momentum builds. Results appear when least expected, but only because of consistent effort over time. You have a choice. You can dismiss the slow process, or you can trust it. That's the key. Step 4. Remove the all-or-nothing mindset. Most people quit because they feel progress is too small. Why bother? they ask. The key is not dramatic action. It's disciplined repetition. Focus on showing up. One more small step. One more day. One more repetition. You have a choice. You can wait for perfection. Or you can commit to consistency. That's the key. Step 5. Leverage triggers. Tie small actions to existing habits. Want to floss daily? Do it right after brushing your teeth. Want to meditate daily? Do it after your morning coffee. Want to write daily? Do it after your commute. Cues anchor behavior. They reduce reliance on willpower. Your environment supports your compounding. You have a choice. You can wait for motivation to strike. Or you can use cues to automate action. Step 6. Focus on process, not outcome. Too many people obsess over results. Results fluctuate. Outcomes are often outside your control. Process is what you control. One push-up. One focused hour. One saved dollar. Control the process. Trust the compounding. Results will follow. You have a choice. You can chase outcomes and fail. Or you can focus on actions and win. That's the key. Step 7. Be patient. Compounding requires time. Time is non-negotiable. Results rarely appear instantly. But the repeated effort is never wasted. Every small action builds invisible strength, skill, and momentum. Your body adapts. Your brain rewires. Your habits solidify. You have a choice. You can quit because results are slow. Or you can persist and allow time to work for you. Step 8. Expect resistance. Small actions feel meaningless at first. Old habits resist change. Distractions will tempt you. Boredom will sneak in. Doubt will whisper, "What's the point?" Push through anyway. Consistency beats intensity over time. You have a choice. You can give in to resistance. Or you can repeat the action and reinforce discipline. Step 9. Celebrate the compounding. Recognize progress in increments. A week of consistent action. A month. A quarter. Celebrate wins, no matter how small. It reinforces repetition. Momentum compounds on itself. You have a choice. You can ignore small victories. Or you can acknowledge them and fuel further action. That's the key. Step 10. Integrate multiple small actions. Fitness, finance, focus, relationships. Each area benefits from compounding. Exercise daily. Read daily. Save daily. Connect daily. Each compounding action stacks on the other. Soon, a small routine transforms your life. You have a choice. You can focus on one area sporadically. Or you can apply compounding consistently across all domains. That's the key. Real-world example. A writer commits to 500 words daily. Alone, it seems trivial. After a year, that's 182,500 words, 3 full-length novels. A beginner investor saves $5 daily. Alone, it seems meaningless. After a decade, with compounding, it can grow to hundreds of thousands. Small actions, repeated, stacked, multiplied. This is not luck. This is strategy. You have a choice. You can dismiss small actions as inconsequential. Or you can trust compounding and execute daily. That's the key. Step 11. Avoid comparison traps. Other people may be ahead. Other people may seem faster. Focus on your stack of small wins. Compound them. Ignore the noise. You have a choice. You can compare and stall. Or you can act and build momentum. That's the key. Step 12. Commit for life. Compounding isn't a short-term tactic. It's a lifestyle. Small wins today, repeated tomorrow. Win today, repeat tomorrow. Consistency over decades creates extraordinary results. You have a choice. You can chase instant gratification. Or you can compound small wins into unstoppable progress. That's the key. Remember this. Big results are built from tiny wins stacked over time. Win today, repeat tomorrow. Win today, repeat tomorrow. Win today, repeat tomorrow. You have a choice. You can act. You can persist. You don't need permission. You don't need motivation to be perfect. Discipline beats desire every single time. Action creates momentum, not the other way around. That's the key. You mastered awareness. You mastered reactions. You mastered habits. You mastered environment. Now, master compounding. Master the small actions that lead to massive results. Next, we will integrate all these principles into unstoppable momentum. Your habits, environment, and discipline, fully aligned to produce the life you decide to live. Chapter 7. Embrace discomfort, the growth signal. Most people run from discomfort. They chase ease. They chase comfort. They chase the path of least resistance. Here's the truth. Growth never comes from comfort. Discomfort is the signal. Discomfort builds strength. Avoid comfort. Embrace growth. You have a choice. You can stay safe, or you can grow. That's the key. Think about your body. You don't build muscle by sitting on the couch. You lift heavy weights. You push past the burn. You endure the soreness. That discomfort is not punishment. It's a signal. A signal that adaptation is happening. You have a choice. You can quit when it gets uncomfortable, or you can push and grow stronger. That's the key. Look at your mind. Mental toughness isn't built by watching TV or scrolling endlessly. It's built by sitting with boredom, by resisting distraction, by enduring moments of uncertainty and fear. Discomfort teaches patience. Discomfort teaches resilience. You have a choice. You can numb yourself, or you can face the discomfort and expand your capacity. That's the key. Your habits are rooted in comfort. Late night snacking, mindless scrolling, avoiding tough conversations. Why? Because it's easy. It feels good. It numbs the discomfort. Breaking those habits requires intentional pain. Fasting when you want to eat. Waking up before the alarm. Having the conversation you've been avoiding. Cold showers. Physical. Mental. Emotional. Each moment of discomfort is a growth opportunity. You have a choice. You can avoid it, or you can embrace it. That's the key. Discomfort is also a mirror. When you feel irritation, frustration, or impatience, that's not chaos. It's a signal. A signal showing where you're still soft, still untrained. A rude coworker, a delayed response, a challenging client, all these are mirrors. If it triggers you, it teaches you. If it controls you, you haven't learned yet. You have a choice. You can react, or you can pause, observe, and grow. That's the key. Step 1. Identify your growth discomforts. What do you avoid? Early mornings? Hard workouts? Difficult talks? Financial discipline? Career risks? Learning new skills? Write them down. Every avoidance is a signal. You have a choice. You can ignore the signal, or you can confront it intentionally. That's the key. Step 2. Schedule discomfort. Don't wait for chaos to force growth. Plan it. Wake early. Practice fasting. Schedule a difficult conversation. Take a cold shower. Exercise beyond your comfort zone. This is the practice ground. You have a choice. You can wait for life to push you, or you can push yourself deliberately. That's the key. Step 3. Reframe pain as growth. Your body burns. Your mind resists. Your ego protests. That's progress. That's adaptation. That's the signal working. Your discomfort is not a punishment. It is feedback. It tells you exactly where to improve. You have a choice. You can resent the pain, or you can see it as the marker of growth. That's the key. Step 4. Pair discomfort with reflection. After you endure, pause and reflect. What did you learn? Where did you resist? How did you adapt? Journaling or mental review strengthens the connection between pain and progress. Without reflection, discomfort is wasted. You have a choice. You can endure blindly, or you can endure intentionally and extract growth. That's the key. Step 5. Use repetition to normalize discomfort. Do it daily, weekly, consistently. Cold showers today, early mornings tomorrow, difficult conversations next week. Each exposure reduces fear. Each exposure builds resilience. Your threshold expands. Discomfort becomes familiar. Growth becomes habit. You have a choice. You can endure once, or you can endure consistently and master discomfort. That's the key. Step 6. Disconnect from outcome comfort. Most people cling to easy results. They want success without pain. That's fantasy. Real achievement is rooted in discomfort. Push through the grind. Trust the process. Discomfort today is competence tomorrow. You have a choice. You can chase comfort, or you can embrace the necessary pain to win. That's the key. Step 7. Observe your triggers. Discomfort also shows where habits have control. Hunger, boredom, irritation, all are cues. Notice them. Pause. Respond intentionally. Replace reactive comfort-seeking with deliberate growth behavior. If it triggers you, it teaches you. If it controls you, you haven't learned yet. You have a choice. You can react blindly, or you can use the moment as a growth tool. That's the key. Step 8. Embrace discomfort as identity transformation. You are no longer someone who runs from pain. You are someone who seeks growth. You are someone who decides to endure. Your character is forged in these small, repeated acts. You have a choice. You can remain soft, or you can harden intentionally and grow strong. That's the key. Step 9. Measure success in courage, not comfort. Did you take the difficult action today? Did you endure what others avoided? Did you sit with tension without flinching? That is progress. That is growth. Not the result, not the applause, not the reward. Courage is the metric. You have a choice. You can chase comfort, or you can choose courage, repeatedly. That's the key. Step 10. Build a growth habit system. Identify discomforts. Schedule them. Reframe them. Reflect on them. Repeat daily. Stack them over weeks, over months, over years. Discomfort compounds like any habit. Each repeated act builds strength, confidence, and resilience. You have a choice. You can avoid it, or you can compound it and transform your life. That's the key. Remember this: your comfort is your cage. Discomfort is the door. Step through intentionally. Push past your resistance. Embrace the hard, the painful, the inconvenient. Discomfort builds strength. Avoid comfort. Embrace growth. You have a choice. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You only need action. That's the key. You mastered awareness. You mastered habits. You mastered reactions. You mastered compounding small wins. Now, embrace discomfort. Step into growth. Step into strength. Step into the person you were meant to become. Next, we tie everything together into unstoppable momentum. Your habits, discipline, reactions, and now your courage, fully aligned to produce the life you choose. Chapter 8. Repeat relentlessly, building new neural pathways. Change doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by wishing. It doesn't happen by motivation alone. It happens through repetition, through deliberate, relentless practice. You have a choice. You can quit after one attempt, or you can repeat until it becomes automatic. That's the key. Old habits are hardwired. Your brain loves the familiar. It defaults to comfort. It defaults to what's easy. If you want to change, you must fight that wiring. Repetition creates new neural pathways. Every time you act differently, your brain adapts. You have a choice. You can rely on old habits, or you can build new ones with intention. That's the key. Look at athletes. Champions don't rely on talent alone. They repeat drills over and over. Every day. hundreds of times. A basketball player shoots hundreds of free throws. A violinist practices the same scale. A fighter repeats the same combinations. It's boring. It's exhausting. It's uncomfortable. But repetition builds mastery. You have a choice. You can skip the grind. Or you can repeat relentlessly and own your skill. That's the key. Old habits are stubborn. They cling. Your brain resists change. That's normal. Don't fight the resistance with anger. Fight it with consistency. Visualize the behavior you want to create. See yourself succeeding. Feel it. Believe it. Then act. Behavioral triggers help. Pair a new habit with a cue. Example: drink water after brushing your teeth. Example: journal immediately after your morning coffee. Small triggers anchor new routines. You have a choice. You can wait for motivation. Or you can automate success through repetition. That's the key. Affirmations are not fluff. They reinforce neural pathways. Say it. Believe it. Act on it. I control my reactions. I embrace discomfort. I am deliberate in my actions. Repeat it every day. Your brain begins to accept it as reality. You have a choice. You can let old beliefs control you. Or you can overwrite them through repetition. That's the key. Accountability accelerates the process. Tell someone what you're building. Check in daily. Accountability creates external triggers. It forces consistency. It also provides feedback. Without accountability, your new neural pathways weaken. You have a choice. You can hide and fail alone. Or you can use others to reinforce your growth. That's the key. Repetition isn't glamorous. It isn't exciting. It's mundane. It's consistent action in small steps. One action today. One action tomorrow. Stacked. Compounded. Daily. The brain loves this. It rewires slowly. Each repetition strengthens the pathway. Each repetition cements a new identity. You have a choice. You can seek novelty and fail to grow. Or you can repeat relentlessly and dominate your mind. That's the key. Behavioral design is crucial. Don't rely on willpower alone. Shape your environment. Leave reminders. Set visual cues. Place your gym shoes next to the bed. Put your journal on your desk. Keep healthy snacks in plain sight. Remove triggers for old habits. Change your environment. Change your brain. You have a choice. You can stay in chaos. Or you can design for consistency and growth. That's the key. Expect setbacks. Repetition isn't linear. You'll miss days. You'll fail. You'll slip. That's not the end. That's feedback. Restart immediately. Double down tomorrow. The key isn't perfection. It's persistence. Do it again. And again. Until it becomes who you are. You have a choice. You can quit at the first failure. Or you can keep repeating. Keep reinforcing. Keep evolving. That's the key. Neural pathways are reinforced through emotion. Celebrate small wins. Reward yourself intentionally. Each time your brain associates the new habit with a positive feeling, it strengthens faster. Example: completing your morning workout triggers a surge of pride and energy. Your brain links action to reward. Your habit becomes sticky. You have a choice. You can ignore progress. Or you can celebrate it and accelerate growth. That's the key. Repetition compounds over time. Tiny actions stacked daily create massive change. Write one paragraph daily. In a year, you have a book. Exercise 10 minutes daily. In a year, your strength doubles. Resist negative self-talk once daily. In a year, your mindset transforms. It's not magic. It's math. Repetition multiplies results. You have a choice. You can rely on sporadic effort. Or you can repeat relentlessly and become unstoppable. That's the key. Identity is built through repetition. You are no longer someone who reacts randomly. You are someone deliberate. You are someone who chooses action. You are someone who builds. Every repeated action strengthens that identity. Your habits become your character. Your character shapes your destiny. You have a choice. You can stay who you were, or you can repeat until you are who you want to be. Chapter 9. Discipline over emotion. Acting without permission. Emotion is unreliable. It rises. It falls. It changes without warning. Discipline does not. Most people wait to feel ready. Ready to act. Ready to start. Ready to commit. That wait keeps them stuck. Emotion is a signal, not a command. If you obey it blindly, it controls you. If you observe it and act anyway, you control yourself. You have a choice. You can let emotion dictate action, or you can let discipline lead regardless of emotion. That's the key. Motivation is temporary. It fades under pressure. Discipline remains. Discipline is not intensity. It is reliability. It is doing what you said you would do, even when enthusiasm is gone. Especially when enthusiasm is gone. Your brain prefers comfort. Emotion supports that preference. I don't feel like it. I'll do it later. I need more energy. Those thoughts feel convincing. They are not true. They are protective. Your brain is trying to conserve effort. Your job is to override it. You have a choice. You can obey comfort, or you can train obedience to standards. That's the key. Discipline is trained behavior, not personality, not genetics. Behavior. Every time you act despite resistance, you strengthen that behavior. Every time you give in, you weaken it. There is no neutral. Look at professionals. They do not ask how they feel. They act because it is time to act. The athlete trains on low-energy days. The writer writes without inspiration. The leader decides under uncertainty. That is what separates amateurs from professionals. Emotion-led behavior versus standard-led behavior. You have a choice. You can perform only when it feels good. Or you can perform because it is required. That's the key. Discipline removes internal debate. No negotiation. No delay. When the rule is clear, the mind stops arguing. Example. I train at 6 a.m. No question. No mood check. Action follows automatically. Rules free mental energy. Emotion drains it. Most people are exhausted not from work, but from deciding whether to work. Discipline eliminates that drain. You have a choice. You can argue with yourself daily, or you can decide once and execute daily. That's the key. Discipline also builds trust. Each completed action reinforces identity. I am someone who follows through. That identity becomes powerful. It stabilizes confidence. It reduces self-doubt. Self-doubt thrives in inconsistency. Discipline starves it. You don't need to feel confident to act. You need to act to become confident. Emotion follows behavior, not the other way around. This is critical. Most people wait for belief. High performers create belief through action. You have a choice. You can wait for certainty, or you can move and let certainty catch up. That's the key. Discipline does not mean ignoring emotion. It means refusing to be ruled by it. You acknowledge fatigue. You acknowledge fear. You acknowledge resistance. Then you act anyway. Not recklessly. Deliberately. Discipline is calm, quiet, consistent. It does not announce itself. It shows up. Over time, something changes. Resistance weakens. Execution feels lighter. Emotion aligns with behavior. Not because emotion improved, but because discipline trained it. This is emotional mastery, not suppression. Command. You no longer ask, do I feel like it? You ask, what is required now? That question changes everything. You have a choice. You can remain reactive, or you can become decisive through discipline. That's the key. Discipline compounds. One act strengthens the next. Momentum builds. Eventually, what felt forced becomes natural. What felt heavy becomes routine. What felt impossible becomes normal. This is how standards rise. Discipline also protects you from yourself. From impulsive decisions. From emotional spirals. From quitting early. It creates structure under pressure. Life will test you. Emotion will fluctuate. Circumstances will shift. Discipline remains. You have a choice. You can let emotion run your life. Or you can use discipline to shape it. That's the key. In the end, discipline is self-respect in action. It says, "My future matters more than my comfort." And every time you act on that belief, you become stronger. Not emotionally, structurally. That is how control is built. Chapter 10. Self-trust. Becoming reliable to yourself. Self-trust is not confidence. It is reliability. Confidence can fluctuate. Self-trust compounds. You don't trust yourself because you believe in yourself. You trust yourself because you have evidence. Most people break promises to themselves daily. Small ones. Quiet ones. They tell themselves it doesn't matter. It does. Every broken promise weakens internal authority. Every kept promise strengthens it. You have a choice. You can treat commitments casually. Or you can treat your word as law. That's the key. Self-trust begins with small agreements. Wake up when you said you would. Start when you said you would start. Stop when you said you would stop. These actions look insignificant. They are not. They train your nervous system to expect follow-through. They reduce hesitation. They reduce doubt. Doubt grows in inconsistency. Trust grows in proof. You don't build self-trust by being perfect. You build it by being consistent. Perfection creates pressure. Consistency creates stability. You have a choice. You can demand flawless performance. Or you can demand honest execution. That's the key. Self-trust removes internal negotiation. When you say you'll act, you act. There is no emotional debate. No mood check. No waiting. That decisiveness is powerful. It frees mental bandwidth. It speeds up execution. It clarifies identity. You stop asking, "Will I follow through?" You already know the answer. This is not arrogance. It is earned certainty. Self-trust also sharpens boundaries. You stop overcommitting. You stop promising what you won't deliver. Your yes becomes meaningful. Your no becomes respected. You have a choice. You can seek approval by overextending. Or you can protect trust by committing only to what you'll execute. That's the key. Self-trust is built under resistance. Anyone can follow through when it's easy. Trust is forged when it's inconvenient. When energy is low. When distractions are loud. When no one is watching. Especially when no one is watching. Those moments define you. Every time you act anyway, you deposit into your self-trust account. Over time, the balance grows. With self-trust, fear loses leverage. You still feel it. But you don't stop. You know you'll handle the outcome. Because you've handled discomfort before. This creates calm confidence. Not hype. Not ego. Grounded certainty. You have a choice. You can let doubt control decisions. Or you can let trust guide action. That's the key. Self-trust also makes recovery faster. When you fail, you don't spiral. You adjust. Because trust is not "I never fail." It's "I respond effectively when I do." That resilience is critical. Without self-trust, setbacks destroy momentum. With it, setbacks become data. You learn. You refine. You continue. Self-trust creates speed. No second guessing. No paralysis. You decide. You act. You adapt. That loop is mastery. The ultimate benefit of self-trust is freedom. Freedom from external validation. It is built quietly, daily, through action. And once it is built, self-doubt has nowhere to stand.